So, hear the fucking joke. Bro, in like the past pushing on 2 years that I've been ranting and raving and raving and ranting and talking the most shit on my channel, you would have noticed that a lot of the times I speak about pedophilia. Quite a lot of the times I speak on pedophilia, on how sickening it is, and how basically the UN and the EU are pushing, and the LBGT movement are pushing to legalize pedophilia. I've been speaking about this for close to a year, like close to a year. And now all of a sudden, people are now posting on their Facebooks and their Instagrams every now and again or every other day about how, yo fam, they're trying to push pedophilia to make this shit legal. I'm just sitting there like, I've been telling, like, I told you like 2 days before yesterday, which was last week, I told you this shit. Like, I told you guys this shit. I've been speaking about this many fucking times. Does anybody know the name Mark Salling? Mark Soling or Mark Salling? For those of you who actually sat down and watched this piece of shit program called Glee, for those of you who actually sat down and watched that piece of shit program, Glee, you would know who I'm talking about. I don't know who the fuck he is. I only just found out about this shit today. Apparently this guy used to star in Glee between 2009, I think between 2009 and 2015. He had a predominant part on the show. Come to find out, he committed suicide earlier on today. He committed suicide earlier on today because he was run up on charges for having over 50,000 pictures of child sex abuse images on his computer and his hard drive. Over 50,000 images of child sex abuse pictures. Mark Salling, star in the show Glee. Child sex abuse pictures, 50,000. He was looking at 4 to 7 years. I wrote some shit that he was looking at 4 to 7 years after arranging a plea deal, which was avoiding 20 years. Like, he could have got 20 years, signed up for a plea deal, and was looking at 4 to 7 years, which he was going to be charged in March the 7th, where he was going to be sentenced on March the 7th, which is basically a month's time. Ended up committing suicide. Alright? And I'm sitting down there looking at this shit like, how many more of these Hollywood stars and celebrities and TV shows, TV personalities are we going to find out that have either been involved in child abuse or have child abuse pictures on their computers, on their hard drives or something? I think apparently his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend was the one that raised the call like 3 years ago, I think, like that. She was the one that raised the call. And then I was still kind of reading up on more child sex abuse and that. I come to find out something else which is pretty much fucking sickening and disgusting, and also proves my point that America is literally a fucking experiment. America Incorporated is a fucking experiment. I come to find out that young girls as young as 10 are among 200,000 children wed to adults in the United States of America in the last 15 years. Girls as young as 10 are among 200,000 children wed to adults in the United States in the last 15 years. Because apparently there is loopholes in the American law that allows some people to wed children as young as 10 in some states. And then you still have LGBT pushing to add a P into their shit. You reap what you sow, people. You fucking reap what you sow. That's all I'm going to say. You fucking reap what you sow. Because I have nothing else to say on this shit. Otherwise, I'm just going to always be having another video about pedophilia. I'm always going to be constantly talking about this shit, talking to myself about this shit, because nobody doesn't care until it finally hits home, and then they want to start sending out fucking missing pictures of their children or something about how, can you donate to my GoFundMe or some shit like that. Like, well, why the fuck didn't you listen to the people that was actually telling you about this shit months prior? Why the fuck wasn't you listening to me when I told you guys about a police officer who went onto the fucking BBC news station and said live, there's so many pedophiles in the UK, we're just not going to arrest them. But we're still going to arrest those people still smoking some weed though. Hear what Mark Sallin's lawyer said about him. Just before I go, hear what his lawyer said about him. Quotes, Mark was a gentle and loving person. He was a person of great creativity who was doing his best to atone. Atone for some serious mistakes and errors of judgment. A gentle and loving person who was doing his best to atone for some serious mistakes and error of judgments. Which is exactly how they put it out here in the news. This is how they portray it. Mistakes, error of judgments. I'm out of here, people, and I'm not even giving you the free sign. Fuck that shit. I'm out.